Hi, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys.com, home of technical analysis education. Click the link for a free week trial, no credit card required, and gain access to our multiple live broadcasts daily, community chat room, educational videos, nightly watch lists, and more. Invest in your education and future and join the community today. Hey everyone, looking at SPY, wild day of trading today. We'll look at it on the shorter term time frames, but first the very clear bearish break from this triangle pattern we've been highlighting, and we have a very clear support level coming off of it. So 214.04 was this low, and we did break it today, but only by 5 cents, and the bulls bought that dip. So you can put a line right there and see that's very clearly support at this point. And as we head into tomorrow, we saw a little bounce at the end of the day, and it didn't end up amounting to much, so the bears still have control heading into tomorrow, and if we break that 214 psychological level, we're looking down at the low of September 27th, 213.62, and then if we break that level, we're really looking down at the lows here, and for those lows, I'm going to be watching the S&P 500, SPX, and watching the 100-day moving average support, currently 21.33, because we held that level exactly 4 times before we bounced to the upside, so that is a clear support going forward. And also watching the weekly, still rejecting from the 10-week moving average resistance. We've got our middle Bollinger Band support, and we did close above that 10-week. If we look at SPX here as well, it's less convincing. We closed, I believe, a couple pennies above it last week, but that's not convincing. So watching this range on the S&P 500, and if we see a bearish loss of the middle Bollinger Band, it will be the first time we have lost the middle Bollinger Band since the bounce in February. We closed right at it on the Brexit dump, but then we've defended that level and bounced to higher highs. So we're on the verge of some key support levels, and I'm going to, again, watching SPX, 21.39.82 and 21.33.30. Very important supports to be watching. If we lose those levels, we are going to be looking at a bearish fourth quarter to end the year here. So let's now look at the 5-minute time frame. Crazy action today in terms of the back and forth. We started the day out with strength with all 5-minute moving averages as support, and we held the 100-period moving average support 3-4 times in a row. We formed a double top at the high of the day, 216.17, and with the upper wicks, that was red flag number 1. We tightened and broke. We bounced off the 100-period support again for a 4th time, and I said red flag to the bulls if we lose this level. We closed below it, and then look at the dump that came the next 10 minutes. But a V-shaped bounce showing lots of strength on the recovery. Lower high formed, and then a dump again. And once this second dump hit a new low of the day, that told me the bears had control because we had a clear lower high and clear lower low. And then on that last, another really strong bounce, another lower high, and then we consolidated and tightened up. So after all that whipsaw action was occurring, I don't like to trade when I'm doing the live webcam, as I've got my mind all over the place answering questions and looking at different tickers. But what stood out as a bearish play to me that I made this afternoon was an inside candlestick on the hourly. We had the wide range and then an inside candlestick as the range tightened. And as soon as this low of this candlestick, 215.09, breaks, you can assume that the next candlestick is going to be a bearish one. And as soon as that broke, I made a bearish entry in some weekly or some calls that or some puts that expire tomorrow for SPX, or excuse me, SPY, and came away with a very quick 20% on this 20 minutes of downside. So here's your 215.09 low, and then as soon as that broke, we saw 20 minutes of dump. I sold there at 22%. In hindsight, obviously, if I held longer, left about $1,200 on the table or something, but was happy with the gains made on the trade at that point, so locked it in. And then we saw lower highs and lower lows, so the bears clearly held control until the end of the day. Some big bull volume, and we'll see if that bull volume amounts to anything. Another clear indication of bearish action was the hourly. The low of the day bounced off the 200-period hourly support twice yesterday. Low of the day bounced off of it twice here. The third candlestick, we closed 1 penny below it. That's not convincing enough for me. But as soon as the low of that candlestick, 215.09, broke, then I assumed that we were going to lose that support because of that inside candlestick. So we'll see if we see any kind of bounce. We've got clear resistance to watch on a back test after this 200 period was very strong support. We'll look for it to be tough resistance at 215.36, and that level will change by tomorrow. So we'll update it and check out what that level is. I appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great day. Bears currently in control heading into tomorrow. 214 even is an important support level to be watching. Have a great night. Thanks for the likes and the shares.